I'm going to play a little. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Nooner. I'm adding a little music today. Give us some time to enjoy some Van Hagar. There's one person joining us. Anybody name that tune? I'll give you props. So today on the Nooner, let me introduce myself. My name is David Bradley, Sales and Marketing Manager with Grant Cardone. I'm also the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. And in my spare time, I'm the co-founder of #RichMan'sGym, and where we work on home-based strength and conditioning. But today on the Nooner, we're going to be looking at top habits of successful sales teams. Actually, not sales teams, sorry. Top habits of successful teams. What do all teams have in common that are successful? So that's what we're going to be talking about on the Nooner today. Wanted to just get a little Van Halen going and get me fired up, get you fired up. That song rocks. It's all about doing it now, right? You can do it now, you can do it later, do it now, okay? So today we are talking about 3 habits all successful teams have in common. If you've got some habits that you think these successful teams have in common already, throw up some comments down below and let me see what you guys are thinking about. But if you look at any successful team, this can be an athletic team. It can be a military team. It could be a surgical team. It could be a legal team. And it can be a sales team. They all have 3 very specific things in common. 3 things that they make sure that they're doing consistently. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you do have a sales team and you're not doing these 3 things, you are leaving vast sums of money on the table. That's my warning. Warning. Okay. So if without further ado, I'm going to drop these things on you right now. Habit number 1. All successful teams work tirelessly at getting their mind right, at getting their attitude on right, okay? There is an article I just put up on LinkedIn. You can read this whole thing. I'm going to break it down in grave detail for you on LinkedIn. If you need the link, send an email out to david@grantcardone.com, and I'll send you the link. But all successful teams work tirelessly and religiously at getting their mind right. And that's from the individual to the organization, okay? And if you consider the cost of having a bad attitude, and this isn't just about getting pumped up and motivated. I mean, it's a part of it. It's very important. But if you consider the cost of a bad attitude, like, for example, if you sold Ford, if a customer goes into a Ford dealership and they have a bad experience, they'll make a value decision on the entire product. They'll decide that a Ford sucks because they had a bad experience at the dealership. If you look at Verizon, you could make a value decision on Verizon. Hey, Verizon's horrible. I would never do business with them because of one bad experience. So it's so important to make sure that your team hits the deck with their head on right. Now, there's 2 things you can do to make sure that happens. Number 1 is you want to have a daily meeting, strictly designed to make sure people get their attitude on right. That's all you have to do. Just have a meeting that's structured, centered towards getting motivated for the day. Okay, that's one tip you can do to make sure that everybody gets their head on right. Number 2, though, is to make sure that your salespeople have their goals and their dreams are tied in with the company's mission. So what I mean by that is that if your mission is to create the best possible customer experience known to man, and you want to reach a certain number of people and you want to sell a certain number of product every single month, and you want to do that consistently, and you want to build value in your company, then you need to make sure that the goal of the salesperson is tied into that somehow. So an example of that would be, I was talking with a sales group and was saying, hey, why do you come to work every day? And without even thinking about it, the sales guy's like, I want to take my daughter to Disneyland. He didn't even have to think about it. That's his motivation. That's why he's here every day. So if you can take your company's goals, your company's missions, and get them tied in and connected to why he's here, like his real why, that's huge for keeping him motivated, keeping him on point, gives you guys something to work towards together. Okay, so that's number one. Tip number one, habit number one of all successful teams is to get the attitude right. We have a client who made this one little shift, started doing these daily meetings, and gross profit in their company went up $200 per unit. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot right now, but when you think about it, they did 4,200 units that year. So do that math. It's like $840,000. Now we're not talking about small sums of money. That's some big money. So that one little shift could be worth $840,000 to you. So daily meeting to get the attitude right. Tie your salesperson's goals in with your goals, with the company's goals. So that's habit number one. Okay, number two. All successful teams practice so that when we're in a real situation, we've already done it. So now let's break that down for a second. If you look at, say, Michael Jordan did this particularly well. He says, I practice harder than I played, so when I'm in a game, it's no big deal. Let's go outside and look at the military, for example, or a first responder. Okay, first responders, emergency responders, they create situations to practice in so that when it actually happens, they've already done it before. It's not a big deal. So make sure that if you have a sales team, you guys are doing some kind of practice every single day, role play. And what's interesting about it is that you'll talk to salespeople and you'll see salespeople that would rather practice on a customer than they would with their peers. It's weird. You'd rather risk commission than risk your ego. So what I tell you to do, number one, get over that. And then number two, literally schedule time to practice every single day. That you're doing something, whether it's by yourself, with a partner, with the group. But if you want to get to the next level, you got to practice every single day. Okay? So look, Al Pacino, now I don't know Al, but I promise you, he still rehearses. He doesn't need to rehearse, but he does. Okay, so that's habit number two. Practice every single day. Habit number three, all successful teams debrief an experience. So what I mean by that is when you're done, okay, so if you can create an experience to learn from, okay, but if you actually have the experience, you want to debrief that. Meaning, hey, what worked in that situation? What didn't work? Okay, and what am I going to do better next time? So let's look. I don't know if anybody's caught the UFC fight over the weekend, but Rowdy Ronda Rousey knocked out Betch Correia in 34 seconds. And in her post-fight interview, she's like, man, I could have done better. You knocked the chick out in 34 seconds. What else could you? But she's still in there. She's like, hey, I'm proud of what I did. Knocked her out, 34 seconds. But I could have done it faster. So what that means is, and after this fight, she's going to go back and she's going to watch the film and she's going to look for where she could have done it faster, could have done it better. Again, be very, very proud of what you're doing, but never, ever, ever be satisfied. Okay. So the 3 habits, get your head on right. And if you got a sales team, get their head on right every single day. Practice every single day. Debrief experiences. Now, if you want to get a link to read more about this up on LinkedIn, send an email out, david@grantcardone.com. I'll send you the link to it. But the other thing I want to bonus you with is that if you want to get 2 worksheets that you can use with your sales team to get their attitude right and to debrief experiences, send that email out to me, david@grantcardone.com. I'm going to get you the 2 worksheets, no charge, okay, and 2 free videos that you can use in your meetings to get their attitude right and to start working on skill development, okay? So that's your nooner. Those are your 3 habits. If there's anything I can help with, don't hesitate, david@grantcardone.com or send or call me direct, 310-777-0352. Thank you. Have a terrific August. Implement these habits and let me know how it helps. Thanks so much.